are going to move on to Cancers next. My fellow Cancers, what do we have going on for you? By the way, I don't expect you guys to be able to read this mess. You could just listen and follow along. You do not need to know the board. It just helps me keep my thoughts in order. Okay. All right, a couple key things. Wednesday the 8th, there's talk here of a cycle that you've been going through where you have potentially had to go around the long way. Sometimes we want to have growth and development in our lives, and we can't just go forward. We have to look back at where we've been. We have to check and see where there are gaps in our understanding, where there are unlearned lessons, where we can apply the things that we just went through to our current life circumstances, but also to meet our future goals. This is you right now, my fellow Cancers, okay? So on Wednesday especially, there's an end of a cycle. We could call it a karmic cycle. It is a cycle of lessons. So you're going to be looking back, processing all of that. And I would highly recommend that you give it the time that it deserves. Sometimes in life, we find ourselves chasing our tails. We go round and around and around the same stupid mountain over and over again. We meet the same destructive people over and over again. We find ourselves in the same circumstance repeatedly. Why does that happen? Because we never slowed down long enough to process and say, what was the lesson? What was I supposed to learn from this? The minute you do that, you're done with that part of the cycle and you get to move on to another super awkward lesson. Okay, so we want to get you through this as quickly as possible, but it does seem to be affecting the heart. So this could be in love. It could also be anything emotional or even something deep-rooted from way back when. For some of you, I could see that you're processing some past life information even. All right, so you're coming full circle and you're getting ready to move forward. Those of you who write or compose or do anything artistic at all, also if you speak to groups or you're in the healing arts, you are somehow maybe like a counselor of some variety. I'm even seeing yoga and things like this. This may be something that you can apply to your artwork, to your song and music, to your clients. Now, Saturday the 11th, there's talk of money. And there's talk of money going out, and at the same time, I'm hearing from your work and money guides, save it. Well, you know, it doesn't always work that way, but we could find you guys a little bit split on this, or you may personally feel split on this. If the money needs to go out, then it needs to go out. If I can save it, then I can save it. It's almost like you're trying to prevent spending it, but I don't know how well you're going to be able to do that. I think you're going to have to gauge the situation. If something needs to be replaced and it's expensive, it's going to cost money, but it's going to cost you more in the long run not to. Be wise about your choices. What you shouldn't be doing is to put on blinders and say, this isn't a problem. I'm stressed. This is overwhelming. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to blow it off and act like it's not happening. That's not an option right on that day. But save what you can. For those of you who don't need to go out and spend frivolously, you might be very, very tempted that day, not only with things that you want, but also with people coming to you and saying, come out and spend a little, or take this trip, or let's just go here this weekend. That's not the best idea for you at the moment, and that'll show within 2 weeks. Sunday the 12th, we have talk of a childhood friend coming in for you. And what seems to be happening is that somebody or a situation is revisiting and trying to get you to engage in such a way that it revitalizes you, it revitalizes the relationship or that part of you, and it creates joy and peace and growth and development. And I think that it is worthy of the time. I would not be surprised if you hear from someone that you haven't gotten to spend time with in a very long time. Tuesday the 14th, there's talk of you speaking. speaking in front of a group, speaking in front of an audience of some variety or a crowd. It's mostly, though, just about a leadership position. You do have maternal energy, grandmothers, mothers, aunties, sisters over here on the other side, coming through, watching over you, supporting you in this when you have to do it. So those of you that are not comfortable in leadership positions, know that they'll be supporting you. Do whatever you have to do to get comfortable. You're not going to be comfortable. You know, it's like a fake it till you make it. Get up there anyways and do it through the discomfort. No one ever said that the things we're supposed to be doing are going to feel good, okay? So you have a lot of opportunity from this leadership position to gain others afterward. Pay attention to that.